Okay, it's time for part number 2 of Why Houses Don't Sell, and this one is going to be the For Sale by Owner edition. So I have a list of things that I feel like a lot of for sale by owners do wrong that prevents their house from selling or for selling for the most money. And this is not all, because there are some for sale by owners that do a pretty good job. But from what I've seen and experienced, we're going to start with not decluttering or depersonalizing. Now, not every house necessarily has to be completely decluttered, depersonalized. It really has to do with what type of objects and how much stuff your home has in it. So if you're a maximalist and you have a ton of stuff, then you may need to declutter. If your style is pretty on trend, appeals to the masses, you may not need to declutter. And that's part of what we do, is we go in and tell you, yes, you need to declutter. No, you don't. Along with that is cleaning. A lot of times for sale by owners may not realize what their house looks like to other people. I know that everybody has their own smell, and you're used to it, and your home probably doesn't smell different to you. But when you come in as a guest or a potential buyer, the home may have a smell that you don't realize. And that's another thing an agent can help with and provide feedback about. So another thing that for sale by owners tend to do is become a little too emotionally attached to their houses to be able to think clearly. And this goes with both pricing and negotiations. It kind of goes with that expression of like thinking that everything that you have is gold and that it's worth so much more because you love it. That's really common. That's probably the biggest struggle I have, is people not seeing their homes from an outside perspective and not valuing them because that emotional attachment is there. And I'm guilty of it too. I always ask my coworkers when I price a home that I might sell if they agree with the pricing versus just going with what I think it's worth. I honestly probably even go the other way to try to compensate for that. Along with the pricing, you can look up on a lot of different websites what's sold and what's on the market and try to price it, but without having our skill set and our knowledge and knowing what to look for in those comps and how to compare them, your pricing comparisons may be wrong and you may price wrong. And then further than that, we constantly reevaluate the market and evaluate our feedback, and we'll recommend that prices be adjusted based on feedback and marketing and market trends. And that's something that a lot of sellers don't necessarily do. Back to the personal aspect of it, a lot of sellers will take offers very personally. And if an offer comes in that they don't like, they may react badly instead of having time to think over it. When you have an agent, you have a buffer, somebody to kind of talk through with and help you understand that that person's making an offer from their perspective and that it may not be an intentional shade on the house. And then another thing that for sale by owners can't really do that hurts them is a lot of people can't really help a buyer walk through financing. If somebody likes their house but they don't know where to start, a lot of for sale by owners are like, oh, well, good luck. Here's this person you can maybe talk to. Whereas we can help navigate, walk them through, help them verify whether the advice they're given is good advice or bad advice. But helping buyers get financing is something that some people do. And then this is my favorite one, because there have been times where I've done showings with the owner's present, which I highly do not recommend. And it's when sellers talk too much. When you're showing, you don't want to talk to the client very much. And for sale by owners, a lot of times it's just in our nature out here to be friendly, to be open, to build a rapport and cuss and discuss. But the people are going to be more worried about talking to you and hearing your stories, how you had so much fun putting this backsplash on, and all your personal stories. And they're going to get done looking at your house, and all they're going to remember is your stories, not necessarily the house itself. Plus, they may not feel comfortable to look at cabinets and really take a good look at the room, because they'll feel like they're stepping in your personal space. So also, like, not reading the room. Like, as an agent, I can tell if somebody's not feeling a house. And when that happens, okay, well, it doesn't seem like you're really liking this house. Do you want to just go? And then we leave. We don't have to spend 30, 45 minutes looking at a house that they already know that they don't like. But when you're looking with an owner and they're standing there waiting for you, if you just duck into every room and then peace out, you kind of are worried about offending them. But when a buyer looks with an agent, there's no feelings there. They can be open and honest about their feedback. And if they don't want to spend 45 minutes looking at a house that they love, they don't have to. And so that gives the buyer a little more freedom to be honest with themselves. And a lot of sellers will waste their own time, not intentionally, by being there for a showing and making buyers who aren't really interested feel obligated. And then lastly, probably for some of my owners' least favorite part, which is a part of my job that I do a lot of, screening calls and dealing with inquiries and tire kickers and and all the people who just want to know about their neighbor's house or just ask questions or aren't going to be serious buyers, especially on Facebook, because we get a lot on Facebook.